This is Alexandra Mooney, and this is my critical reflection on my teaching pedagogy. A personal bias that I came into this semester having was that it's simple to include CSP in your classroom. And I thought that any teacher who is naturally inclusive and welcoming and supports their students, that they can do CSP. And although I still think that's true, I've seen now after this semester how important it is to develop your own ideas of CSP and to really research and take professional development in classes to learn more about how to implement it correctly and efficiently in your classroom. Something that challenged me this semester was that I learned that I have so much more to learn about CSP. Coming into this semester, I thought that I was someone who is naturally inclusive of students and that accepting their cultures is something that was easy and simple to do, that every teacher should do. But it's more than just being accepting and inclusive. It's also researching their cultures and learning from our students and their families. And also that it's not just surface level. I think I also was challenged with the bias that including CSP was just reading books from different cultures and watching videos from different cultures, but I now see that it's much more of that. It's how we actually write our lessons and how we form our activities around being culturally sustaining. Something I still struggle with CSP is including CSP more organically and genuinely in my classroom. So I feel like after this semester, I've learned really well how to take a lesson and how to include CSP features in the lesson, but I want to learn how to make that more of an everyday thing, that I write my lessons from a framework that I want them to be culturally sustaining, and I want to find ways to include my students' cultures. And I think as I go on and I have more practice with writing lessons, that'll come. But I also know that this isn't the end of it, this class. I know that going forward, I'm going to have to learn a lot more about it, and I'm excited to do that. The value that CSP has in the classroom is that it makes our students feel accepted. Also, I think it's the best way to form relationships with our students. And it also shows us that the information that they're learning is relevant, that it's not just us spewing information to them that they have to memorize, but instead it shows relevance to their lives. CSP is also academically and emotionally intertwined, where I've seen that a lot of my students struggle with trauma and with depression and thoughts of harming themselves. And if they come to school and they see that a teacher cares about them and that we know that academics might not be their top priority, that they might be on more of a survival mode, that we love them and we care about them and we want to learn from them, then I think they're going to be more inclined to perform well academically because they're going to see a point in it. And then a way that we can maintain CSP in our classroom is by family engagement. I want to do calls home for good things and learn from our families, not just calling home for bad things. And then also, I think we need to let our students be the masters and let our students teach us about their own cultures.